BARUUK is a frontline pacifier. His greatest asset is in the ability to dictate the terms of engagement and to control the pace of each battle. With amazing abilities such as Elude, Lull, and Desolate Hands, BARUUK is a great warframe for players who like to proceed at their own pace. Either you like to take your time in each mission or just rush in like most of us do. BARUUK is one of the few warframes to master these playstyles, and with the strong potential, this frame has mastery of crowd control, stealth, and raw damage. Today on our Warframe Mastery, I will be showing you how to play and utilize BARUUK to his fullest potential, so without further ado, let's begin. The primary way of playing BARUUK is supported by his ability to suppress enemies and control the crowd. This is something that can be seen mostly in his second and third ability, and this is what splits his playstyle into two. The first one is Covert and the second one is Panther Style. Of course, I'm using terminology that will be a little bit familiar with you guys. The first one we're going to take a look at is going to be the Covert Style, and with his second and third ability, BARUUK can put enemies to sleep and also destroy their guns. In stealth or covert approach, this is a great frame for stacking stealth multipliers and farming focus. Of course, it is not as fast as Equinox, but he can get the job done. You can also use them for spy missions if you choose to, and with Lull, BARUUK puts enemies to sleep before even entering a room. Because it takes time for these effects to actually go through, it is advised that you cast it before approaching rooms or different doorways so you don't get spotted by enemies. And also make sure that you get your melee weapons ready. This is an ability that also opens enemies up for finishers, so you may want to bring in daggers or bring in pole arms or staves, anything that can literally kill an enemy in one hit. Now if you ever get in a situation where you've been spotted, this is where his third ability actually comes into play. Desolate Hands can be casted to stun enemies. It jams their weapons and causes a small explosion. This is basically like Mesa's powers, so you're able to literally disable enemies' weapons. You can also recast these abilities as much as you want. Desolate Hands will be your most active ability. You have to cast this every chance that you get because this is instantaneous, and it can also save your life when fighting problematic groups of enemies. As long as you keep on casting your 3, you can replenish those charges. Now, going covert with BARUUK utilizes his second and third ability. Pair it up with a good melee weapon and you can have a lot of fun putting down enemies and putting them to sleep. And walking past them is just as fun as taking them out. You can mod for maximum range and maximum duration when playing covert, because that is one of the things that I saw to be quite effective. Forget about power strength when you're going the covert route because you really don't need that power strength. You're going to be doing a lot of finisher damages anyway. Now if you're like most Tenos, most Warframe players out there, and patience is not even in your vocabulary, not your best skill, then Panther Style is likely going to be your go-to style. Playing Panther utilizes all 4 abilities, but mostly is going to be on 1 and 4. Elude is an ability that lets projectiles pass through you. It also lets you waltz into the battle face to face with enemies. It will also reduce damage over time. As much as you take damage, you will also have a lot of damage mitigation as well. This has a lot of benefits and we will get to it as well. But to ensure that you are not getting downed all the time, I will say make sure that you have a lot of shields. You can add a lot of health as well, but you will also have to use arcanes to bolster your survivability, because that's one of the things that I've been able to use so far. Now, with that said, let's get into the synergies between 1 and 4. To compensate for damage to your shields and health, you will be able to build up what is basically a rage meter or an edge meter for a lot of people. I want you to look at it this way. The lower that bar is on the right side, the better it is for you. This is what grants you the power to unleash your anger and activate your ultimate ability. When you cast 4, the bar will fill up over time, so you want that bar lower and lower and lower so you can cast your 4 as long as you want. You will become tankier in the process as well, and the good thing about this is that this ability doesn't need energy. All you have to worry about is the energy being consumed by your 1, and once you get it down to a very low bar, you can activate your ultimate and you will be good to go. So how do you mod for this style of play? How do you mod for the Panther style? Well, I'll suggest that you go for a higher duration, add mods like Hunter Adrenaline or Rage, because you'll be getting hit a lot and you want a lot of energy back in return. Then you will add some power strength if you have those mods. The biggest player in this ultimate Panther style is going to be the Exalted Fist. This is a crit based ultimate, one of a kind. It also has an equal amount of slash, impact, and puncture. This makes it one of the best exalted weapons stats in the game so far, and I advise you to build for the critical chance and critical damage, and bring your Ardaza Kavat as well if you can. Now in time, you will start seeing red and orange crits all around the place. BARUUK is a frame that gives benefits as long as you put yourself in danger. Mods like Hunter Adrenaline is crucial because you will be taking a lot of damage like I said earlier, and you will need to get back those energy so you can keep on casting your 3. Remember that 4 cannot be casted unless you have taken damage while your 1 is active. The bar has to go down before you can cast your ultimate. 1 and 3 are for your survival. 2 and 4 are for the ultimate damage plus the additional CC. I find it amazing to use silent weapons on covert playstyles and use syndicate weapons for the Panther style. I utilize Arcane's Barrier to restore my shields when I can, and if you have Arcane Grace, they will be amazing as well. Now remember that BARUUK is a jack of most trades. He is a frame geared towards battle control. He can play as a stealth frame or play as a damage frame. Once you begin to reach higher levels, your 3-2-1 will be the most valuable. BARUUK is a frame that gives players the freedom to play their own way and play in their own style, and I hope you enjoy the Warframe as well. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.